Good evening, folks, and welcome to another drink along. Tonight we have one. The boy was nice enough to bring me back from California. Apparently, he likes this place. He says the food's good, and so is the beer. This is Harbor Fish Cafe's Beach Brew. There you go. They're giving you a little cartoony look about the cafe that's right on the water. I will tell you, when I go to California, we stay in, what is it, Whale's Vagina, San Diego? Right? Isn't that what it means? You'll catch me at those beachfront cafes wolfing down fish all day long. Nothing like a fresh fish. We have a new bottle opener. This one would be probably better for Halloween, but this is what we got. Just don't know how to mount it to put it on the wall, but I'll figure something out. But let's do the crack. Let's do the pour. Let's get a temperature. Get in there, you stupid. Okay, maybe. Jesus, that's a lot of work. To be fair, that is like a home brew cap there, so. We did chill everything down. It is hot in Phoenix. It is summertime. So, there's the crack. Here's your pour. Now, it took a little doing, but per the internet, this is a red amber lager. I'm going to say that's more gold, but there is a tinge in there. And it is done by Indian Wells Brewing Company, specifically for Harbor Fish Cafe. So hopefully the person who owns and runs Harbor Fish is an aficionado of good craft beer. We shall find out. That is a pretty head. Nice, tight, bright white. You know, I wouldn't call it amber or red. I would call it a lager, and I would say, even with the floaties in there, I don't know if you can see the floaty in there, that this is about a 2. Which is fine, because this is exactly what we like. Incidentally, I had to patch that hole, so we brought out Death from Above, Hazy Indian IPA from Kincaider. I have yet to have a Kincaider beer, by the way. I have enough of their stuff up on the wall because their artwork is solid and everywhere. Yeah, no, dude, that's a beautiful head. That looks like an egg cream head right there. Look at that. Nice, soft, fluffy, and bright white. All right, let's get a temperature. This has been sitting in an ice bath in a cooler in my backyard, so it should be cold. I get the feeling I wish it was colder. It might have been out too long, or the glass might have warmed. We're looking at 44. You know what? I have another bottle. I will go put that in the freezer. Depending on how this goes, we will chill that one down even further and then get a look at it from there. In the meantime, Biden time, let's get that sniffer in there and see what's going on. Nice, bright, light floral. Oh, that smells really good. Sweet, like a honey note in there. The boy is not a big beer drinker. He's more of a cider and mead kind of fella, but I can see why this would be attractive. Prost. Nice, light, bright, sweet. Slight sour note in there. Dirty. Interesting. So, definitely leaning more towards the German than the American styles for a lager. That honey note is definitely present in there, which is really, really nice. Personally, I like honey. And when I say I like honey, if we go out diddy bopping around or we're out camping for 5 or 6 days, I will take a bunch of honey straws with me just because they're delicious and it never hurts to have a little extra juice on the hike. Here is your lacing. That kind of looks like maybe the world after the Great Flood, and that would go with that. And then apparently the rest of the world gets washed away. I just call them like I see them, man. See? World, Great Flood, washes away everything, just leaves that in a little island. Apparently, from what I've heard online, that would be Africa, by the way. Scroll. So that honey note is really the most forward thing in here. And it's nice. It's that dark smoky note. That was 50. The thing with these thin glasses is they do run a temperature really, really fast. I mean, there's not a lot of heat retention in thin glass like that. You know, we're shooting Goofy Foot today. Because I just set it up Goofy Foot. Goofy Foot, for people who aren't surfing aficionados, which I thought would go well with this particular beer, just means left-handed. Goofy Foot. So, we're going to pause. We're going to let this warm up a little more. And then we'll be back. I am going to throw that other bottle in the freezer. Let's see if we can bring that temperature down further into the 30s. We'll look at it from there because he gave me 2 bottles. Because that's all they would let him leave the bar with. If you're not my supervisor, you can't tell me what to do. I'll be right back. Alright, a little Samantha Fish for Harbor Fish Cafe. Angus texted me, he goes, dude, she's playing like a school auditorium. We should go. And I'm like, yes, we should. I like Sammy Fish. I think she is awesome. It is hot out, so I did take the hat off. We are looking at 58, 56, 8, 57. Let's see what we shall see. Now, you know how I feel about letting lagers get too warm. You know, the wheels start to fly off. There's some more lacing for you guys. You know, I kind of miss Ed. Such is life. Anyway, normalize, release the esters. Let's see what she's going to show us now. Again, really sweet, floral, really, really nice. That guy at Indian Wells, doing his work. Just a really nice, sweet, beautiful nose. That means, you know what we got to do. Looks like this. Smells like this. We got to slip the tongue. We are honor bound. Cool. Nice. So still, actually the mouthfeel has slowed down. Hasn't really expanded. Soft palate, intradentals, not a lot of tongue, although it does ride the tongue back. It's just the front that lights up. Coats the back of the throat really nicely. And is really tasty. And this is like outside of the window where I really want to drink these beers. Right? Because, you know, you've been here before, and I believe lagers should be imbibed somewhere around ice chips to about 42. That's where they really tend to shine, because they tend to be those really, really nice cold beers in hot weather. Again, we drink seasonal, so. Psycho dog's barking at the neighbor. Sancho, by the way, who is 11 pounds of dryer lint, believes he can probably take my neighbor's, we're looking at 59, so we're going to chill for a little bit. Believes he could probably take my neighbor's 100-plus pound Great Dane who's 4 feet at the shoulder. So Sancho's like, I'll kick his ass. I'm Pirate King, I'll kick his ass. Sancho. Alright, so we do have some notes on here. Indian Wells Brewing Company is a craft brewery located in Yokern, California in the Mojave. Despite its name, it is not located in the resort community of Indian Wells, but rather along Highway 14, midway between LA and Mammoth Mountain. Key facts about the brewery. Origin and water source. The brewery was established in 1995, expanding significantly in 1997, and is family owned. Its defining characteristic is the use of pure artesian spring water from the historic Indian Wells Spring, which flows naturally from the Sierra Nevada snowpack, which means they must be fucked because there's no snow up there anymore. The brewery claims a zero carbon footprint for its water transport, as gravity moves the water from the spring to the facility. The brewery produces over 20 beer styles and is best known for Mojave Red, their flagship American Amber Red Lager, which is what they said this was when I went to the Harbor Fish page. Lobotomy Bock, a highly rated Doppelbock at 10.5. You know, the weather will cool off eventually. We might have to take a look at that one. Orange Blossom Amber, a Belgian-style fruit beer that gained national recognition as a top 10 summer beer. Why am I not fucking getting that here? An Amnesia IPA, an American IPA at 7.2 ABV. Operating as a microbrewery, Indian Wells Brewing Company is often referred to as the biggest little brewery in the world, much like the biggest little whorehouse in Texas, I would imagine. In addition to beer, they produce a wide variety of sodas. These products are distributed beyond the local area, with beers available in specialty stores across California and beyond. I really need to reach out to them. There's an address here. I am going to try and get in touch with them and see if we can take a look at a couple of those, because they look real interesting. I really like the Mojave Red, the Lobotomy Block, the Orange Blossom, and the Death Valley Pale. If I could get 6 of those as like a case shipped to me, give it a try. You know, if you really wanted to help me out with that, you could buy me a beer. Or if you live there, you could send me a beer. I can't complain. I shout you out too. All right, let's see what temperature we got going on now. We should be in the 60s. And then we're going to pause. We will come back and look at this beer in the 30s and see what we shall see. I lie to you not, my friends. We are at a 62.2. Again, I really wish the light would stay on longer. Alright. Normalize, release the esters, blabbity blabbity. Let's see what we got going on. You guys like those new AI generated thumbnails I'm working on? I'm working on them. Again, fruity, floral, sweet. There's actually more fruit now than honey. This is fucking delicious smelling beer. Let's go. Sadly though, the wheels are starting to come off. So now she is super fast. There are no IBUs in this beer. I'm sure that there are a manageable, measurable amount, but they're virtually negligible. That just honey sweet flavor is present throughout the whole beer, which is again why I threw the other one in the freezer. Get that temperature down, see if there's something else in it. It's really nice. It's really smoky. It's that desert wildflower honey. If you haven't, desert wildflowers produce a much different honey than, well, all honey is site gather specific. Think of it that way. Desert wildflower honey tends to be smokier and has that local note. Let's just go with the local note. So obviously they're pulling this honey from local apiaries. Would I buy this beer again? Sure. Would I drink this beer again? Wouldn't bet an eye. Try it on tap? I just told you. I want a 6-pack of each of their flagship brews shipped to my house so that I can evaluate those, because judging by their lager, these guys know their shit. Handed this to me out of the cooler, I'd say thank you, but I hope you brought more. Just saying. Don't be a skinflint. Good for the style. Really good for the style. The main problem here for people who don't like honey is going to be the honey flavor. Again, it's a rich, smoky honey taste, which is delicious in my opinion, but I love honey. So there is that. If that's not your thing, then it's not your thing. But for me, not a problem. There is no flavor progression here. What you get at the first sip is what you get at the last sip. And we're in the 60s, and the wheels haven't completely blown off. Now, at this point, by the time we get to the short, we will have something else to look at. But I will, of course, pull the other bottle out of the freezer. We'll look at it at like 34, and then I'll cut that in somewhere before you got here. I like this beer, man. The problem is, if I was sitting at their counter, gazing out at the ocean, inhaling that nice iodine-rich, oxygenated breeze from the waves crashing over the beach, I'd have a whole bunch of these. I like this beer. Just say it. So we're going to give it a 5. This is a really, really solid pick. The boy knew his shit when he grabbed this. Boy, they're a good beer. And he's not a beer guy. What does that tell you? All right, my friends, thank you for coming by. Putting eyeballs on, my people. Love you. Big 3. Happy, healthy, safe, honorable, dutiful, vigilant, gray man, household, hot and handy, comes with its own responsibilities. That's on you. You know what I want from me? Like, share, remind, subscribe, buy me a beer. Buy me a lot of beer. But buying me a beer is awesome, because it has its own benefits. And you buy me a beer, I will take care of you. Don't worry. Thank you very much for coming by, and I will see you, well, in probably about 15 minutes when that beer gets cold enough. Other than that, I will see you on the next one, or in the short. Skol. Still a good beer. Guy knows his shit. All right. Adios.